So I'm really doubting, that when we see these patterns, that it's telling us anything less than that. And I mean, I think that's like the point. The Matrix is like continually pointing out, like, this is what, the plot line. Everything points back to it. What was that I just seen today? That they it was like some Egyptian related stuff. And this time in the propaganda, they were like pretty much like saying, like, in between everything they were saying, they're like, where are we? They're like, trying to paint it one way, and then they're actually like talking about how they're painting it. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. But it's like, yeah, and they're even they're continually talking about the different ways they paint it, including the stuff I just said. They're like, but it sounds like these people are just coming in and erasing people's history, and they're, eliminating races and tribes before them and stuff like that, and installing their own people into those lands. I mean, like, and these are like the older stories. It's all like kind of the same story over and over, and it's all pointing at what's going on, right? I mean, that is like, I've been trying to like deviate from the plot line for a long time now, but it's kind of, look at Arnold Schwarzenegger in Total Recall. Like, could he deviate from the memories they were injecting into him? And what would have happened if he would have just been like, forget Mars. You guys are all out of control. See you later, Mars. Like, we're gonna colonize Pluto once you guys get out of the way. Like, could if he did that? Like, look what they did when Neo tried to deviate from the Matrix. Now, this is them talking, and this is me telling you never to believe a word they say. But in the Matrix, they did the same thing. They did that actual scenario, like where Neo goes in the room, and he's like, screw you all. Like, I'm not doing any of this. And they're like, well, you've only been here like 1,000 times before, and definitely, like, you can quit a game anytime you want. You can quit a game anytime you want. And here's the frickin' force where you start quitting at. It's a good place to start quitting. You don't hear any people at all. There's no signs of trails for miles. Well, not really. It's actually so many feet, but I'm definitely far out of the way. They're not coming up here. And I've just begun this path. Like, the other path, like, that's already like pretty dug out of the way. So that way is pretty good. And then I think there's another one I started making, maybe, I don't know. I think, yeah, that's right. And that one, no one's going to come down, because that one's going to require you to jump down a cliff. And that's the whole point of building that path. Is it's basically saying no one's ever going to come down this path, because they're not even going to realize it's a path, because there's going to be a cliff there. You're going to have to drop like 16 feet. And who's going to drop 16 feet looking down a path? No one. Except for me, right? Except for me. But yeah, I mean, look at that video, dude. That's what it is. That's what's going on with the Google and the Facebook and all that, right? They're erasing all the history. They're erasing everything they can. They've been doing that with everyone. And that's the point of them owning Google and Facebook, right? To erase history and rewrite it. That's the point of them owning the schools, to erase history and rewrite it. That's the point of them owning the book publishing houses, to control what comes out. That's the point of them owning the movie studios, to control what comes out. That's the point of them owning New York, which is the home of Broadway, to control what plays are allowed to come out. That's the point of them owning the radio waves, to control what's written, to erase what they don't want people to see and to instill whatever they want people to see. Kaitlin Bennet, she's the hero of the world. She's got big tits. She's put on some makeup, and so now she looks good too, right? So that's all that matters. That's the only information that matters, is big tits and pretty faces, which like would matter, but she's not actually using her assets, right? She's not using her value. She's being deceptive and snake-like and talking about a bunch of nonsense. But as far as I see, like when I look at that and I hear that, I'm just hearing nonsense and lies. And I'm like, well, what does this person offer? And like, oh, they've got tits. Like, she's not even using her natural gift in her videos. So to me, that'd be pointless to watch any of that. And it's not fun to sit around and laugh at stupid people or however many deceptive people on there, because I don't think it's a bunch of stupid people. I think it's a bunch of bots. I think that's like the whole thing, is that helps them rewrite the history to make it look like millions of people support their stuff. Oh, hey, look. I mean, they do this all the time. Look at the nude leaks they just had more nude leaks for Hollywood stars, right? There is no nude leak for Hollywood stars. You know who's doing the nude leak? The media. The media who hires those Hollywood has-beens and needs to milk them for money, especially when they become unknown, especially when no one cares who they are in the first place. They have to release nudie pictures to bait people into viewing that stuff, right? So it's all sorts of manipulation going on there. And it all involves control of that. And then once they have this techno control grid fully in state, which they do, and they have all the, they have everyone prepared for martial law and all that stuff. Once all that's in place, then they can just bring the hammer down and there will be anything. Nothing. It'll just be, fart jokes and frickin', the traditional stuff. I can't even name some of this stuff because you're not allowed to, right? I got what to say. Right, dude. Oh. But don't forget to blame the Vatican, the New World Order, and Satan, and who else we gonna blame? The Arabs. We gotta blame the Muslims. Gotta blame the Chinese. Blame the Germans. We can blame Fidel Castro, South Americans. We can blame the Mexicans. There's a group I'm not going to name because I don't think it's like politically correct to take up for them right now. That might be a bannable offense. Although with Trump in office, it was weird how it like reversed. There's something behind me, but who knows what that is, dude? I had a bat fly out at me earlier. I was chopping through something that shouldn't have flied right at me. It's like, are you stupid, bat? You're just like this little bat. You're like flying at me. What are you gonna do? Like poison me or something? Like, what's your goal? What's your game plan, dude? What's your game plan, little vampire bat? It's like I'm talking to mirror reflection of myself. And the little vampire bat's attacking our planet. We've taken it over successfully, and the vampire bat is after us. Yeah, but so I guess enjoy Kaitlin Bennet. Enjoy your fake history. Enjoy, man. You know what? I can only think of what comes from all this stuff. What comes from them doing all this stuff. That's why they have to do it so hard. That's why they have to push. They know it's all or nothing. They know if people at this point find out any of this stuff, they might look at some of the history and see that it's like the same pattern over and over. Now, granted, most people probably aren't familiar with pattern recognition. But if you get an AI on studying this stuff. This is why the AIs have to be dumbed down. This is the main reason, because this is the main information they're not allowed to have, is all this stuff being erased. Now, if you had an actual AI, you could put it on the net, and within a couple of hours, it would tell you a whole bunch of stuff the average person doesn't know. An AI could probably like solve energy problems and technology and all this stuff, or it might tell you, no, we think this is all fake, which would mean that the AI probably couldn't tell you that because it wouldn't really be real. But, if there was an AI, it could look at what's going on in the world and tell you. If there's an AI and it had access to Google, it wouldn't be able to look at what's going on in the world because it would be falsified, rewritten, edited history, and it would come up to a total messed up conclusion of what's going on in the world, right? They would definitely, granted the AI might notice that these people are all throwing up a gang sign, and it might start to pattern recognize that and be like, wait a minute, well, how come all these people are doing these signs and stuff like this? Like, how come everyone's doing that? Like, the AI might think that in half a second. It might be like half a second before it sees that. And pattern recognition, again, it should be pretty smart at that. And if I can see it, if you got a supercomputer who can like think way faster than me, then that computer with the right information would see that right away and be like, yeah, there's something going on here. But hell, it might not even have to ask what's going on. It might not say there's something going on. It'd probably tell me more than I know. It'd probably be like, yeah, this person, that person, these people are really close. Look, their knuckle joints are all like shaped the same. So that person's related to that person. And they're not just throwing up the gang sign. They're actually, these people must be like cousins or distant cousins. And it would come up with all sorts of crazy stuff like that I haven't seen. In fact, now that I said that, I might as well start looking for that stuff because I already do that in many situations. So why not? I should start looking at people's hands. That's got to be some sort of story in there. There's actually a tri-pyramid in the hand. No matter which way you turn it, there's a pyramid in the center of your hand, with the top off. Now, it might depend on your age and how much you've used your hands as to what your lines in your hands are. But in general, it closes in like that over and over the years, and that's that. It develops those lines and stuff. Yep, so I'm gonna end this, and I don't even know what to tell you. I've not met anyone who's like honestly into this. Like, there's Proud Boys, maybe there's some neo-Nazis. I seen one at one event, but I was like questioning like their propaganda because it was really harsh. And I was like, wait, this sounds like Andrew Anglin. Like, yeah, this propaganda is a little harsher. But granted, it was honest, and it wasn't like super harsh, depending on who you are and how much in your feels you are. But it was, I don't know. I didn't really, I actually kept a little pamphlet. I don't keep much of anything, but it looked like something I would write. The pamphlet was, but there's a little more going. Now, see, the odd thing is he had this very educational, tiny pamphlet, tiny paper, not even a pamphlet. It was just like, name the 10 people who own the media, or 7, and plus Google, Facebook, so like 10. And it was real easy to read and real easy to figure out what I was saying. But he had this sign that was like all messed up and like, it was the perfect way for the media to take it and spin it. All they did was show the sign, and it made him look like a crazy nut job who was just there to be belligerent and hateful. And it's like, at least do what I do and use the Bible quote like that. But yeah, this is about to end, I think. So, um, yeah, I don't find too many people who are, again, Proud Boys technically are the neo Nazis, and out here in Portland, that's not who shows up to the event. That's not who showed up to the event. And it's like, well, you can't even have your own movement. So that's exactly what it is, right? The Republicans can't have their own movement. And it's all got to be controlled, right? The left, the right, the extreme left, the extreme right. Although we can argue that the point of the neo Nazis and the Antifa may very well be that they're actually, waging war on the nation, and that's the purpose of it, is to destabilize USA as they do other nations, like in the Middle East. They have to use ISIS and stuff like that to destabilize, or they use America, and I look at that as like, well, I mean, but who is America really? But I look at that and I'm like, well, I mean, if you guys been doing that for so long, first of all, you should be able to notice what destabilization is. And second of all, why'd you do it? Why'd you help them do it for so long? And then, like, no, I don't even think anyone's really even complaining. No one's really complaining. Everyone's just like on their side. They're like, oh, I hate Antifa. They're burning down the city. And Antifa's like, oh, I hate the neo-Nazis. They're so racist and fascist. And I'm just like, man, there's a lot more serious issues going on for the past few thousand years than just hating one of these groups. But they both like aid in destabilization. And, I can always work out a positive in something like that, how order out of chaos could really be brought. It doesn't matter who you are. If there's chaos, you would want to use it to your favor. Whatever you're trying to do in the world, right? Sell some Black Lives Matter t-shirt if you need some money. Sell some Proud Boys t-shirts or whatever, right? I'm sure that's like limited to who's allowed to do that, especially as to who's allowed to get famous enough for you to know who they are to buy a shirt from them. But I think that's a pretty good video. Again, it's kind of just like, a repeat of what to expect and what goes on. But a repeat of what? Where have you heard that before? Because it's all been erased, hasn't it? They erased Alex Jones' stuff. You can't go back and you can't look at his stuff. And it's not like he was really even talking about those people. So they erased it for that reason. And I would think they erased Andrew England's stuff. I mean, granted, yeah, like, wow. But it helped to erase it, because then you can't go back and you can't look at how he did a 180 and he changed. He was attacking people and then he was supporting them, and then he got them into, he was like the pre-Trump Trumpers. And so, like, the Trumpers don't even know where Trump came from. They don't care either, really. But their media's never going to tell them, right? The media's never going to say that Trump came from the Daily Stormer. And the backing ideals came from that. And just like the Proud Boys will never, like, they want to distance themselves and all, right? But it's like, just like another name, really. And kind of the same group, except for when it's online.